everyone, today we will talk about Alfa Romeo automobiles. Okay. Alfa Romeo Automobiles is an American luxury car manufacturer and a subsidiary of Stellantis. The company was founded on 23 June 1910 in Milan, Italy. Alfa is an acronym of its founding name Anonima Lombarda Fabbrica Automobili. Anonima means anonymous, which was a legal form of company at the time, as it was founded by anonymous investors. In the initial setup phase, in order to have a building to produce cars, the company bought the Portello factory building of the Rock in Milan, which has closing up and selling all its assets. The brand is known for sport-oriented vehicles and has been evolved in car racing since 1911. Alfa Romeo was owned by Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, the company that was responsible for the production of Alfa Romeo cars until its operations were fully merged with those of the PSA Group to form Stellantis on 16 January 2021. The first car produced by the company was the 1910 24 HP, designed by Giuseppe Marosi. Alfa ventured into motor racing, with drivers Franchini and Ronzoni competing in the 1911 Targa Florio with two 24 HP models. In August 1915, the company came under the direction of Neapolitan entrepreneur Nicola Romeo, who converted the factory to produce military hardware for the Italian and Allied war efforts. In 1912, the name of the company was changed to Alfa Romeo, with the Torpedo 20 to 30 HP, the first car to be so badged. In 1921, the Banca Italia di Sconto, which backed the Inc. Nicola Romeo and Co., went bankrupt, and the government needed to support the industrial companies involved, of which Alfa Romeo was among. So the Consorzio per Sovvenzioni su Valori Industriali. In 1925, the railway activities were separated from the Romeo company, and in 1928 Nicola Romeo left. In 1933, the state ownership was reorganized under the banner of the Italian state industrial organization Istituto per la Ricostruzione Industriale, which then had effective control. The company struggled to return to profitability after the Second World War and turned to mass production, small vehicles rather than hand-building luxury models. In 1954, it developed the Alfa Romeo twin-cam engine, which would remain in production until 1994. The Istituto per la Ricostruzione, the state conglomerate that controls Finmeccanica, sold the merger to the Fiat Group in 1986, due to the merger being unprofitable. Alfa Romeo has competed successfully in Grand Prix motor racing, Formula One sports car racing, touring car racing, and rallies. It has happened both as a constructor and an engine supplier via works entries and private entries. The first racing car was made in 1913, 3 years after the foundation of the company, and Alfa Romeo won the inaugural World Championship for Grand Prix cars in 1925. The race victories gave a sporty image to the merger, and Enzo Ferrari founded the Scuderia Ferrari Racing in 1928 as an Alfa Romeo racing team, before becoming independent in 1939. It has had the most wins of any merger in the world. Okay, and now the second part of this video about history. Okay, name. The company's name is a combination of the original name LFAA, Anonima Lombarda Fabbrica Automobili, and the last name of entrepreneur Nicola Romeo, who took control of the company in 1915. Foundation and early years. The first factory building of ALFA was in the first place property of Società Anonima Italiana d'Arc, founded in 1906 by the French automobile firm of Alexandre Durac, with some Italian investors. One of them, Cavaliere Augustella, an aristocrat from Milan, became chairman of the Senate in 1909. The firm's initial location was in Naples, but even before the construction of the planned factory had started, Tarak decided late in 1906 that Milan would be more suitable, and accordingly a tract of land was acquired in the Milan suburb of Portello, where a new factory of 6,700 square meters was constructed. In late 1909, the Italian Durac cars were selling slowly and the company was wound up. Augustella, with the other Italian co-investors, founded a new company named ALFA, buying the assets of Italian Durac that would up to dissolution. The first car produced by the company was 1910 24 HP, designed by Giuseppe Marossi, hired in 1909 for designing new cars more suited to the Italian market. Marossi will go to design a series of new ALFA cars with more powerful engines, such as the 40 to 60 HP LFA ventured into motor racing, with drivers Francini and Ronzoni competing in the 1911. Targa Florio, with two 24 HP models in 1914 and advanced Grand Prix cars, was designed and built. The GP 1914, with a 4-cylinder engine, double overhead camshaft, 4 valves per cylinder, and twin ignition. However, the onset of the First World War halted automobile production at LFAA for 3 years. In August 1915, the company came under the direction of Neapolitan entrepreneur Nicola Romeo, who converted the factory to produce military hardware for the Italian and Allied war efforts. Munitions, aircraft engines, and other components, compressors, and generators based on the company's existing car engines were produced in a vastly enlarged factory during the war. After the war, Romeo invested his war profits in acquiring locomotive and railway carriage plants in Saronno, Rome, and Naples, which were added to his LFA ownership. Car production had not been considered at first, but resumed in 1919, since parts for the competition of 105 cars had remained at the LFA factory since 1915. In 1912, the name of the company was changed to Alfa Romeo, with the Torpedo 20 to 30 HP, the first car to be so badged. Their first success came in 1912 when Giuseppe Campari won an